Hey there, and welcome to the Contentment Creator Podcast, the show designed especially for creative entrepreneurs just like you who are committed to a beautiful life that's rooted in courage and contentment, and that's blooming with creativity and prosperity. I'm your host, Broen, a singer, a mother, and a lover of alliteration, dogs, and deep conversation. This show is designed to become a part of your daily routine to help you, fellow contentment creator, dig deep to clarify your life vision, catalyze your creative flow, and fuel your entrepreneurial fire in just a few inspiring minutes each day. Each Tuesday, we talk about creativity, and today's episode is all about the link between emotional depth and creative thought in relationship. Emotional depth and creativity often arrive hand in hand. And in a marriage, especially one built on years of growing and evolving together, that can be both a gift and a challenge. We've talked before about how emotional sensitivity is a superpower, how it allows us to feel more, connect more deeply, and hold space with compassion. But there's another side of this gift that doesn't get talked about as much. It's also the root of creative thought. The ability to sit with nuance, to explore unseen layers, to notice the invisible thread underneath the conversation. That's not just emotional intelligence. That's creativity in action. Because creativity isn't just about making things. It's about making meaning. And emotional depth gives us a well to draw from. In marriage, this shows up in all kinds of ways. It shows up in how we repair, how we stay curious about what we really meant to say. It shows up in how we support our partner's dreams, how we hold complexity, make space, and offer perspective. It shows up in how we imagine our shared life together, not as a rigid plan, but a living, breathing work of art. But here's the part that can get tricky. When we are the emotionally deep ones in the relationship, the feelers, the processors, the meaning makers, it can be hard not to overfunction in that space. We might find ourselves wanting to name every feeling, shape every interaction, draw insight from every moment. And sometimes our partners don't move through the world that way, or they just move at a different rhythm. They don't access the same emotional language or creative reflection. And that can lead us to question, are we too much? Or are they just not going deep enough? What I've learned is this. Emotional depth and creative thought are not only valid, they're essential. But they also need boundaries and balance to flourish in partnership. Sometimes the most creative move we can make in marriage is not to say more, but to pause, to let the silence do some work, to trust that depth doesn't always mean dialogue. Sometimes it just means presence. And sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to express the fullness of what we're feeling and creating outside of the relationship, in our art, in our journaling, our businesses, and our communities. Because our partnership is not our only canvas. They're not meant to hold all of our process. And our creativity, when expressed freely, makes us more grounded, not more dependent. So if you're the emotional depth holder in your relationship, the one who's always naming what's under the surface, the one who dreams big and feels deeply and creates with every fiber of your being, you are not too much. You're the well that keeps the relationship nourished. You're the dreamer who expands what's possible. But you also get to have space to process that isn't your partner's responsibility. You get to hold yourself too. Because emotional depth is a creative engine. And when we treat it with care, not as a burden, but as a blessing, it breathes new life into how we relate, how we express, and how we imagine the future. But for now, in this moment, take a beat to reflect. Where is your emotional depth asking to be expressed? And where can you allow more space for creativity in your relationship? Not by fixing or naming everything, but by being in it more fully. You are not too much. You're simply deep. And that depth is the root of so much beauty in your art and in your love. Thank you for being here with me today. Join me here tomorrow as we shift into the theme of community and talk about the rituals that help busy couples stay connected, even when life feels full and fast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share the love by sending it to someone you know it would support, and by leaving reviews and comments. It would truly mean the world to me to hear from you and to support those you care about. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a day, and join me in my mission to help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment creators.